Come here. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Hello miners, welcome back. I am on a kick of casting my overcosted things for free lately, so today we are going for another relatively old archetype in the Legacy format. We are going for Legacy Omni-Tell. So this is a variant on a show and tell archetype. Normally you see Sneak and Show, which is an Is It version, which is looking to use show and tell and sneak attack to be able to cheat in a big fat creature to be able to get value and kill your opponent quickly. This is a little different where you're actually trying to combo out using spells and omniscience and not necessarily win with creatures unless you absolutely have to. So the way that this deck normally wins is you show and tell in an omniscience, and then you use one of your wishes, whether it's Cunning Wish or Fey of Wishes, to go grab Firemind's Foresight out of the sideboard. You then cast Firemind's Foresight to go grab another Cunning Wish, an Impulse, and a Brainstorm. Dig for your Emrakul, use Brainstorm to put Emrakul back on top of your deck, and then use your other wish to go grab Release the Ants, which is a weird instant back from the Lorwyn days, which has an old mechanic on it called Clash, which you don't really see anymore, but basically when you clash, both players reveal the top card of their library. Whoever has the card with the highest mana value wins the clash, and then you get something for it. In the case of Release the Ants, you put Release the Ants back into your hand. You also get to choose if you want to put the card revealed back on top of your library or on the bottom. So in theory, very few decks are going to be running anything that is a 15 drop or larger, so you're basically guaranteed to win the clash every single time. So what you're going to do is you're just going to keep casting Release the Ants over and over and over again, revealing Emrakul to be able to win the clash and put it back in your hand, and just slowly pin your opponent to death from whatever life total they're at instant speed. The cool thing about this deck is it's very much a instant heavy deck. Almost every card you have in the deck is an instant, and it allows you to be able to go off at instant speed in response to something that your opponent is doing. So being able to show and tell in Omniscience, and then say your opponent show and tells in Witch Enchanter or something to blow up your Omniscience, you can win with that response on the stack because all of your payoff spells are instants. Because of that, the wish board has a lot of instants to be able to pick out as you need and to be able to go over the top of whatever your opponent is doing. So that is all fueled by just a ton of card draw and counter magic to protect your combo and to be able to just dig through your deck as quickly as possible. In a weird corner case scenario, you could just cast your Emrakul off of your Omniscience or show and tell in your Emrakul if you just want to try to kill your opponent super fast the old-fashioned way with the big spaghetti monster, but that's honestly actually a backup plan of this deck. You aren't really actually casting your Emrakul that often. But the sideboard, as I said, it's pretty much just a bunch of instants to be able to tutor out with your Cunning Wishes and your Fey of Wishes. Outside of your instants, you've got Grafdigger's Cage and Disruptor Flute for hate on opponents' combo decks to be able to shut down activated abilities or to be able to stop your opponent from reanimating stuff. You've got two Beseiju, the old Beseiju, that help you fight against other blue decks by making your instants and sorceries uncounterable. It's a little slow since it comes into play tapped, and it costs you life to be able to activate it, but that 2 life to be able to activate it to make sure that your show and tell is going to get through is absolutely huge. There's some additional counter spells in the sideboard that you can bring in for blue matchups, for combo matchups, Consigned Memory to shut down storm decks, artifact decks, stuff like that, Flusterstorm to bring in against storm decks, to bring it in against other blue decks where you just need a critical mass of counter spells. Sublime Epiphany is kind of interesting. It is a tutor target, but it's got a ton of modes, and you're probably casting it for free off your Omniscience to be able to get just a ton of value. It allows you to blink hate pieces out of the battlefield, draw some extra cards to dig further, shared summons to be able to go find your Emrakul if you need to directly find it, whether it is to be able to cast it and do the beatdown, or because you just have extra wishes in hand and all of your dig spells didn't just find it naturally, just to be able to go and grab it. But yeah, this is pretty much just a really cool mono blue spell spell combo deck using Show and Tell to cheat in Omniscience and then just go off at instant speed to be able to kill your opponent. So let's see if this old combo archetype can hang in the current meta, take it through 5 matches, see how it does. Catch you all in the wrap-up. Alright, time to show our opponent some stuff. Omni-Tell, round 1, won the die roll. Let's go. Kind of been all about the free spells lately, honestly. So this is interesting. It's got some protection, and it's got something to work toward in reliable land drops, but I think we gotta ship it. This with only 1 land, I think we can keep it because we have a good amount of draws to be able to get out of it. I think we're going to bin one of the redundant Cunning Wishes. We have some protection if our opponent's on a combo deck, and we just need 1 land to start our digging. This deck doesn't mulligan quite like a traditional Show and Tell deck does, just because there's so much card draw and tutoring in it. We also have a redundant Show and Tell to be able to pitch to our Force of Will if we need to. Ooh, opponents... Oh, Wild Cantor. This could be Belcher. I think we're going to go ahead and take our chance to Force of Will this Dark Ritual. Try to cut them off of mana. Oh, opponent has the win on turn 1? Oh, it's Necro Dominance Storm. Okay, I mean, it is what it is. There is a fizzle rate to this deck, so we're just going to F6. You've seen me play this deck before. There is a very real possibility of just completely whiffing on the draw 19 and not having what you need. So we will let them do their draw and see if they can piece it together. It also helps they only had 1 card in hand. Exiling a bunch of Spirit Guides. So it really just comes down to if they have the Born Upon the Wind and a Manamorphose. They always could spin again with, like, a Valakut Awakening or something. There's the Manamorphose. They can get blue and black mana. Yep. More mana. More mana. More mana. There's the Born Upon a Wind, and I will update you when I am dead. Like, there is a possibility that they didn't find a tutor. Alright, there's the Beseech. We will scoop it up. Y'all know my opinions on this deck. It is what it is, though. Like, it's kind of cool there's another Glass Cannon-y deck to try to go off with. But y'all know my opinions of this deck. That being said, we are bringing in the Consigned to Memories and Flusterstorms. I think we just take out all the dress downs. They have no creatures anyways, so... I mean, we weren't winning that one anyways. Like, they had the protected turn 1 win. It is what it is, but we'll try that and see how it goes. Let's see if we can stop our opponent. Honestly, that's more what this comes down to than actually executing our own game plan, honestly. Like, a lot of the times you beat Necro by just stopping them, more so than actually winning the game. This is unkeepable. No blue mana. I gotta ship it. We got blue mana, Ponder, another land, a Force of Will. I think we're going to keep this, and we're going to put back the Cunning Wish for now. We just want to hit our lands, slam our Show and Tell, and then go to town, I think. It is a little awkward that our second land is going to cost us the mana. I don't hate this. I think we take the Brainstorm as pitch fodder for the Force of Will. So then, next turn, we can cycle the Lorien Revealed for a land and hold up Spell Pierce. Our opponent did keep on 7, so we're going to see if they have the protected turn 1 again. Alright, do I fight over the Dark Ritual or not is the question. I think I do. If they got it, they got it. Like, if they have another protected turn 1 win, they got another protected turn 1 win. Okay, doesn't look like it. So this is going to allow us to draw the Spell Pierce, cycle the Lorien Reveal, go grab another basic, play that, and then basically we need to top deck a land into some sort of counters, or into dig spells. Hopefully that Dark Ritual was their only other mana. Okay, apparently not. Guess we're gonna see where this goes. Elvish Spirit Guide. Into a Manamorphose, that's fine. This gives them triple black. And if they just go for a Necro here, we Spell Pierce it and hope that they didn't find the counter. Because once the Necro's out of hand, they still have to find a Necro. If they have another Ritual, we might have an issue, but I feel like they wouldn't have done it this way if they did. This feels like either a Cabal Ritual or a just playing the Necro. They're just playing the Necro. Alright, see if they've got... See if they found the Pact. They also could pitch 2 Spirit Guides. Okay. So that's 1 Necro down. Hopefully they don't have a redundant one. We need a land and dig spells, which this will hopefully find us a land and set up our dig spells. I mean, technically it does. I really want the Force of Will, but we can't keep it. So we need to do it like this. This way we have our land, we can Omniscience drop the One Ring, and hope that the One Ring finds us something to do, and that our opponent doesn't have another way to Necro already. Alright, opponent is going to go ahead and... they're probably going to take the Omniscience. Or they might take the Show and Tell. They're actually probably going to take the Show and Tell. It's actually what I meant to say at the first point. It's been a long day. Let's just put it that way. And now we just have to find our combo or more counter spells before they are able to find another Necro Dominance and more mana. And we are going to hold on to this Lorien Revealed so that we have a way to shuffle a Brainstorm, or if we draw a Force of Will, we have something we're actually willing to pitch to force. So we are not going to cycle away this Lorien Revealed. There also is a world where if we just hit enough lands, we can cast it. As I said, something to be able to pitch to Force of Will. Also, if we hit a Show and Tell, we can cast it and draw 3, so... another Duress. I think because of Duress, we're going to go ahead and cycle this. Like, they can take either of these. They're kind of useless on their own. See if they value the Force of Will more, or if they want to take the Omniscience to stop us from drawing a Show and Tell. Took the Force, okay. So they care more about the Force of Will than they do about the Omniscience, which is understandable. Play the land they know about, so that they have to second guess if we drew a counterspell or not. We are still in a very precarious situation. Luckily, a lot of their deck is just kind of like fluff that doesn't do anything until they're able to go off. Chrome Mox could be their third black mana, which it looks like it is. Do they have another Necro? They must if they're Summoners Pacting. Or they have another Beseech. Okay, I mean, I guess it's going to be the same deal. We're just going to F6 and see if they find it in their draw 19. Do you get there in your draw 19, opponent? You got 21 cards. You basically drew almost half of your deck. Exiled a bunch of Spirit Guides into a Manamorphose. Blue and black. Probably going to see a couple of dark rituals out of this. Again, it really just comes down to, do they have the Born Upon the Wind? Cabal Ritual. Whole bunch of mana. More Cabal Rituals. Now they're using their blue mana into the Born Upon the Wind. Did they find the Tutor? Or are they going to have to wheel with a... whatchamacallit, Valakut Exploration. Or Valakut Awakening. Whatever the hell the red wheel card is. Nope, there it is. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Like, this is what this deck does. Y'all know my opinions on this. If you want to play Storm, honestly, play a different Storm deck than this. But our opponent got us this time, so... alright, on to the next one. Alright, lost a die roll. Not the worst thing in the world. I think we'll keep this. We have card selection. We have protection, even though it's a... Spell Pierce instead of a Force of Will, so hopefully our opponent isn't on some turn 1 combo deck again, like our last round was. Opponent starts out with a Swamp. Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize, okay. If I were them, I'd probably take the Ponder here, because we're not really doing anything else at this point, and we only have 1 land. They might take the Show and Tell, so that we have to find all of our combo pieces, but I feel like Ponder is the correct choice from the opponent. Alright, they actually took the Spell Pierce, interesting. That makes me think they're a combo deck. And Chrome Mox is making it seem like that's very much the case. So this could be Black Saga Storm. This could just be another Saga. Oh, no, it's Mono Black Reanimator. Okay, so I'm going to need to find... oh, no, it is... it's Wheel Storm. Okay. So I guess we're going to spin it. I mean, that's not bad. Our hand wasn't great anyways. I mean, granted, now we have 0 lands, but we have a Force of Will to try to stop anything they're doing. Kind of hoping they just, like, drop another, Lion... okay, Lion's Eye Diamond. Come on, go for a wheel again. Go for a wheel again. Turn off auto yields. I would like them not to have a bunch more mana. Okay. Well, there goes Force of Will. Apparently today is just combo day. I'm assuming they take the Force. Hopefully they wheel themselves just into a bunch of mana. Yeah, they took the Force. Alright, so they're not going any further than this. We have literally nothing going on if we don't draw a land. And if we draw a land, then they know they're clear to go next turn also. Well, hopefully they just have, like, a bunch of mana in their hand and nothing to do with it. It's kind of what I'm hoping for here. I wouldn't hate another Force either, just have some kind of protection. Alright, we hit a land. So they know what we have, but we have our second land drop lined up now, as long as they don't wheel us. So seeing this, I'm guessing this is the version of Saga Storm that runs Orcish Bowmasters. It is good to see this deck coming back. I still don't like the Bowmaster version, honestly. I am much more of a fan of the traditional like Tendrils versions, like what I run personally, but alright, they're gonna Cabal Therapy me. We're gonna go ahead and just cycle this now. They know what our whole hand is. They can pick whatever the hell they want. I'm not super sure why they're doing this, unless they were trying to catch us not cycling. Actually, turn auto yields off again. If they wheel us again, we could wheel back into Force of Wills and shit like that. It's gonna suck a little bit if they wheel, just for the sake that, like, we just got this land and then we're gonna lose it again, but we'll see what they do. Like, I honestly don't have a whole lot going on. They might just take the Dress Down so that they can try to do the Saga Beatdown route. Which, if they name Dress Down, then I think that's probably what they're trying to do, is just go for the Saga Beatdowns. They could also possibly go for Show and Tell, hoping to strand this Omniscience in our hand, because there is a world where if we top deck a Ancient Tomb, we can just slam Show and Tell into Omniscience and start going off. But they're taking a very long time to decide what they want to name. Okay, they did name Show and Tell. So it doesn't sound like the Saga plan is what they're trying to interact with. Unless they have a Bowmasters and they plan on just flashing this back. Which is a possibility. Luckily, our Impulse here doesn't actually draw a card. Alright, we got another turn. Another Impulse. Okay, so we'll just play the land and pass. We can cast our spells on their turn. We still have this Dress Down for now. Which they might just go ahead and make a construct, flashback Cabal Therapy this turn to try to just get this Dress Down out of our hand. Or they're just going to pass the turn. It looks like they might be going on the Saga Beatdown route. In which case, we had the first Saga taken care of. Ancient Tomb, Dress Down, Omniscience. I think we're going to take the Ancient Tomb. And then just slam this One Ring, Bias Protection for a turn. And we drew another Dress Down anyway. So yeah, I think we're going to take the turn to just slam the One Ring. They could go grab a Pithing Needle if they have that main deck, name the One Ring. But this will protect us from their Sagas for a turn. And if they don't have main deck Pithing Needle to name the One Ring, then we can draw some more cards to try to be able to get this Omniscience in. And then we're just going to town. Yep, making a construct. We have those taken care of, and we've actually got double Dress Down. So I guess we're going to see if they have Pithing Needle here. It's a little annoying if they do, but it's not the end of the world, because we've still got Impulses and stuff. A lot of these Storm decks won't run at main deck. Alright, so into another Lion's Eye Diamond. They could wheel here to screw up our hand, but since we have protection till the end of the turn, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, that's fine. So it means we get to untap with the One Ring and draw with it. And we have these construct tokens taken care of. Brainstorm, okay. Draw for the One Ring, get some more cards. Odawara and a Cunning Wish. I think we start off with the Brainstorm. Archmage's Charm. That's interesting. I think we just put back a Cunning Wish and the Omniscience, play a land, and then our plan is when they go to combat, we're going to go ahead and play one of the Dress Downs. We will use Ancient Tomb, so if something happens, we can still play the other one. And they're just going straight into combat. These are both going to die. Like I said, we're doing this just so we have extra mana up to be able to do something if we need to. Like, depending on what we draw here. Oh yeah, we knew the Omniscience was on top. We don't want the Cunning Wish. So I think we're actually going to go ahead and fetch, grab our other land, and Impulse before we lose our mana. And hope that this finds us like a Force of Will or something. It does not, but we'll take a Ponder. If they have another wheel, that sucks a little bit, but it does shut down Orcish Bowmasters. Okay, they're going to wheel. So this is going to give us a whole new hand. Hopefully it hits a Force of Will or something. They had the Tendrils in hand. Okay. Luckily, well, actually, we don't have protection with the ring anymore, so they could theoretically Tendrils us. We do have a Force of Will, though. But they have a Duress. We're going to go ahead and force pitching an Omniscience and just kind of hope that that makes them second guess what's going on here. And it looks like it is, which that's very good. We do have counter magic up. I'd love to find a Show and Tell to get this Omniscience into play. Let's draw for this first. Okay, let's ponder. Okay, there's Show and Tell. That's exactly what I want. Show and Tell, ponder, Show and Tell on top. no shuffle, cast show and tell, and we will put Omniscience into play. Put Omniscience in. They put a land in, and then we will just go for the win, I guess? Cast Cunning Wish, go grab Firemind's Foresight, cast Firemind's Foresight, grab a Cunning Wish, grab an Impulse, grab a Brainstorm, cast Impulse. Now we just need to find the Emrakul, take the Brainstorm, cast one Brainstorm, Omniscient Scalding Tarn. I think we can put back the two Ancient Tombs, play Scalding Tarn, fetch. Do I want to put anything back on top here? Firemind's Foresight can kind of let us do this again if we want, so worst case scenario, we can get that back. So we will grab Firemind's Foresight, put that back on top. We will draw it with the dress. Okay, our opponent scooped it up. They were probably dead anyways. And it won't even let us draw our next couple of cards, but they scooped it up. They saw they were dead. Up against Black Saga Storm, bring in all of our Storm Hate. Bring in Grafdigger's Cage because their version is much more reliant on the graveyard. The dress downs were really good. I think we can trim Fae of Wishes. The Archmage's Charms are good, but they're really, really mana intensive, so I think we might just want to take those out. We might trim down to 2 dress downs. They might not go as hard on the construct route. And let's trim 1 Lorien Revealed. And let's try something like that. Okay. I don't hate this. I don't like that I don't have turn 1 protection, but we're going to keep it. Hopefully our opponent, now that they know we're on a blue deck, they're going to be a little bit slower and not just try to pop off on turn 1. Okay, there's a Saga. So maybe they are still on the Saga beatdown route, but we'll see. This could also just be setting up to be able to go get a Lion's Eye Diamond quicker. Alright, they're trying to do something super fast. They could... Okay, they're Thought Season, that's fine. I was going to say, they could go for like a Beseech line into a whatchamacallit, Song of Creation, but we'll see. They might have just been clearing the way for an Echo. Which they were. Okay. See if we get wheeled into Force of Will. Or any other hate cards. I was hoping since they saw we were a blue deck they were going to try to go for a slower line, but they did have the protection. Nope, no Force of Will. Okay. Let's see how bad they can go. Hopefully they just wheeled into a bunch of mana. Alright, opponent's going to Thoughtseize again. I'm assuming they either take Brainstorm or Omniscience here. Took the Brainstorm, yep. Into a Petal. Well, they see I can't do anything, so let's just yield for now. Dark Ritual. Thoughtseizing again. And then do they have the Tendrils? Yep, just natural Tendrils. Okay, so opponent had a protected turn 1 win. Again, it happens. I think we just run it back. Multiple counter spells. I think we're going to keep this. And just trust that we find what we need. Because we have multiple counter spells to be able to stop them now. And we just got to try to buy time until we can find our combo. Hopefully we don't spend this whole league up against turn 1 combo decks. Alright, opponent kept on 7 as well. Play out an island and pass. Vault of Whispers from the opponent. Into a Thoughtseize? Into a Duress. We are going to go ahead and just counter that. Okay, Chrome Box from the opponent. Putting Gaia's Will under it. Okay, so those lines are out of the way. They have a Lion's Eye Diamond. If they just go for the wheel here, which it looks like they are, we are forcing the shit out of this. We're going to force this pitching the Cunning Wish. And we'll see if the opponent wants to keep playing. Wait. Was that out of... No. Why did that not leave their graveyard? Oh, they had 2. Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. So they do have another one looming that they might be able to cast if they ever find blue mana. Okay, Otawara is interesting. If we can get up to a certain point, we can bounce their Chrome Box. But we are very much in a position where if they find any blue mana, they just wheel again and we're back to square one. But so far, no. I would like to find some good spells of my own here. Okay, I mean, Dress Down is a thing. It's an emergency cantrip if I need it. We honestly might just cantrip with it. Like, they're a long way from being able to rebuild with Urza Saga, but I think I am going to hold on to it just in case they also find like an Orcish Bowmasters or something. Okay, well, we can bounce something if we need to. Next turn, we could Lorien Revealed, which we might actually just play Dress Down end of turn. Alright, opponent is going to Cabal Therapy us. They know about the Lorien revealed, so we're going to go ahead and cycle that. Let's grab Ancient Sanctuary, or Mystic Sanctuary, because this, in theory, gets us Force of Will back. Nope, name show and tell, so straight miss. Still not gonna fetch. There's the show and tell. Alright, so what do I want to do here? I don't actually think I want any of this stuff back. I don't want the Lorien revealed yet. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just play the Otawara here. There's something to be said about bouncing the Chrome Mox back to their hand, but I don't want to give them access to more mana again and, like, change the color. And they're passing. I'm still not going to crack my lands yet, because Brainstorms do things. There's a Lorien revealed. We could just hardcast that, but then we're actually down mana. Like, I want to play this Mystic Sanctuary, but I also want to keep up... You know what? We're going to play the Mystic Sanctuary. I don't have the islands right now anyways. I don't actually want anything from the graveyard back. There was something there to be said about maybe grabbing Spell Pierce back, but I don't want it yet. Alright, there's their blue mana. So I have a feeling we're going to see a wheel here, in which case I'm going to flash in Dress Down so that they can't kill us with a Bowmasters. Thoughtseize. Okay, well, we're going to just make this so it is as problematic for them as possible. Into an Ancient Tomb, that's fine. Cycle the Lorien revealed, you can have the show and tell. Grab another land. If you're gonna wheel us, I don't care if this is in the graveyard. That line I was talking about getting back, Spell Pierce, and then drawing it with Dress Down wouldn't matter. They have the mana anyways. I think I am going to thin just marginally here, just because I don't want more lands. Grab an island. Like, it looks like they only have one land or one card, but they've actually got access to at least 7. Okay, we can hardcast a Force of Will, that's fine. So if they just go for the wheel, we just force. If they find another discard spell first, then I guess so be it. But they're gonna have to get to a point where they kind of just have to go for the wheel to refuel their own hand. I will give our opponent credit for playing very patiently. Okay, Chrome Mox, so this might be them going for the wheel now. Are they imprinting? Are they holding on to their card? No, they're still holding on to their card, whatever it is. We will just Force of Will this. And now they're legitimately down to 1 card. They can't do a Gaia's Will line from Beseech. But we don't really have anything relevant at this point. So we need to draw something. We're 1 mana away from just hard casting an Omniscience here. So I will play out this Ancient Tomb. I feel much better without them having a Echo in the yard right now, but if they were holding on to another Echo, this gets it into the... And they were. Of course they were holding on to another Echo. Why wouldn't they be? Alright. But this does give us all of our counter magic back. And we have a Brainstorm and an Impulse to try to find stuff. They are going to Thoughtseize. Let's... Brainstorm. There's a Force of Will. I think we put back both of the lands, and we are going to go ahead and Force of Will this so that our Impulse is live to try to find something else. We will pitch an Omniscience that we don't need at the moment. That is 3 of their Echoes. I don't know if they play the 4th one main. I guess we're going to find out. There also is a world where I actually have enough mana to be able to Cunning Wish to go grab a Archmage's Charm. Like, there's a lot of lines available to us here that just look really wonky. We've got 3 cards in hand. And we do know that there is a land on top to get us to our 10 mana, but we've also just got Show and Tell to be able to put Omniscience in without having to worry about it. So, like, we have multiple routes to Omniscience, and we have at least 1 more spell covered. That being said, if they can just, like, naturally have their Tendrils in hand from here, we do have a slight problem, which it looks like they might. Is this just natural Tendrils? Yes. Okay, natural Tendrils for 8. That only does 16 damage, right? Do we have anything in our sideboard that can, like, just straight up stop this? Do we have the mana to be able to do this? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we need 9 to be able to go grab Sublime Epiphany. Okay, we're going to let this go on the stack, and then we need to count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, this puts me to 1, so it shuts off my fetch land, but I don't actually care about that. Like, we can go to 1. That's totally fine. Okay, pass a turn. And then end of turn, we will impulse. And we will grab a ponder. Any order? Draw. And a consign to memory. Okay, well, I mean, this should do it. Like, even if they show in a Orcish Bowmasters here, we can either consign the trigger or win over it. And at this point, I think we're just going to go for the win over it. Cast Cunning Wish. Go grab Firemind's Foresight. Cast Firemind's Foresight. Grab a Cunning Wish. Grab an Impulse. Grab a Brainstorm. Then we will Impulse. There's the Emrakul. Grab the Emrakul. Any order. Then we will Brainstorm. Put back Show and Tell and Emrakul, because we need Emrakul to be on the top. Let them put their triggers on the stack. Then we will Cunning Wish for Release the Ants. Grab Release the Ants. Cast Release the Ants. This is just going to take a shitload of clicking. So, like, this is deterministically a win. It's going to take a lot of clicking to do so. So for those of you who have never seen how this works, Release the Ants deals 1 damage to any target, and then you clash, which is a really old mechanic. Basically, both players reveal the top card of their library. Whoever's card has the highest mana value wins the clash. And then they can decide if they want to put that card back on the top of their library or put it on the bottom. If you win the clash, you put Release the Ants back in your hand. So they're not going to have a 15 drop. So I am going to win all of these clashes, which is always going to put Release the Ants back into my hand. And I just keep casting this and dealing 1 damage per cycle to the opponent here. So like I said, this is going to take a shitload of clicks, but this is deterministically lethal over the top of his Orcish Bowmasters. Luckily, just shy of 14 minutes is plenty of time to go through this. I am not at risk of timing out at all. So if our opponent doesn't see what's happening here and forces me to click through it, or is just forcing me to click through it out of spite, I'm still going to win. We also get to just take a look at their whole library while we're doing this, or at least the top 34 cards of their library. And they scoop it up when they say they're dead. All right, taking down Black Saga Storm. Okay, 1 for 1 against the turn 1 combo decks. I like it. On to the next one. All right, won the die roll. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, we keep this. This is turn 2 Show and Tell into Omniscience with a Brainstorm to try to protect our hand. I would personally have liked an actual like counterspell, like a Spell Piercer or a Force of Will, but we'll see what happens here. Oh boy, is this Oops All Spells? This looks like Oops All Spells. It really is just fucking turn 1 combo deck day, apparently. So basically, we are going to Brainstorm looking for a Force of Will and hope for the best. If we don't see a Force of Will, we're probably going to let them exile or mill their deck and then just see if there's anything funky. Okay, there's a Force of Will. Let's put back... What do we want to get rid of here to this Force of Will? Honestly, probably Fae of Wishes. So let's put back Impulse, Brainstorm. Or do we want to check the Archmage's Charm? We actually might want to check the Archmage's Charm. Yeah, I think we're going to check the Archmage's Charm and hope that they don't have a Pact negation. And it doesn't look like it. Okay. We really are just getting put to the test today. Holy shit. But we have a turn 2 win of our own, so put in Omniscience. So they were setting up for next turn. That's fine. We are going to cast Granted. We are going to go grab our Firemind's Foresight. Firemind's Foresight. Cast Firemind's Foresight. Grab a Cunning Wish. Grab a Impulse. Grab a Brainstorm. Let us... So Impulse digs us deeper if we do this first. So we're going to Impulse first. This digs us deeper. Force of Will, Dress Down. Dress Down does dig us another card. Dress Down also gives us a backup in the event that we somehow fizzle to be able to stop a Thassa's Oracle trigger. Any order. Cast the Brainstorm. Another Brainstorm, an Archmage's Charm. I think we put back Brainstorm, Scalding Tarn. We're going to draw both of those to give us another Brainstorm to dig 3 deeper. Ponder, Lorien revealed the One Ring. Let's put back Scalding Tarn and Ponder. We are going to... Let's play the One Ring, because we're drawing all these cards anyways. So this will take one of the cards we put back. Lorien revealed will draw 2 more cards on top of that. So that gets us the Ponder, which we will cast the Ponder, so we shuffle if we need to. There's the Emrakul. Okay. We have the win now. No shuffle. Put Emrakul in hand. Brainstorm to put Emrakul on top. I mean, I guess we didn't really need to do it this way, but we could have just put Emrakul on top after our draw. But we're going to do the whole thing where we actually use all 3 of our cards off of Firemind's Foresight. Grab the Release the Ants. And proceed to kill you. Put Emrakul back on top. I know we'll get to see some of our opponent's deck if they don't just scoop here. Just to get a little more information, see if there's anything else funky in it. And now we do this thing. And they scoop it up. Okay. This really is just turn 1 combo day, apparently. 3 turn 1 combo decks at once. Unfortunately, we are bringing in a bunch of stuff here. The dress downs, they are relevant. I think we're taking out the Archmage's Charms. They're just a little slow. Bay of Wishes is a little slow. We can take that out. We've already got the Cunning Wishes, so I'm not super concerned about that. There's something to be said about taking out the One Rings because they're really slow, but they are a source of card advantage once we get our combo down. But I think we need to stop their initial, and then we'll just use all of our blue stuff to dig out. So let's try something like that. Okay, we'll keep this. Double Force, double blue card, consign to memory. We got a bunch of shit we want. We just want some lands, honestly. And at this point, we probably will chuck Cunning Wish and Show and Tell to these Force of Wills so that we can leave up Consign to Memory if they go for a second, and then hopefully if they go for a third time, we will hit a land to be able to play this dress down. Fellmire from the opponent. Okay, behold our hand, opponent. What counter spell do you want to take? They did them all the way to 5. They see our hand and they just scoop it up. There's too much counter magic to come back from. Okay. I mean, that's what happens sometimes when you play these all-in combo decks. And, I mean, we're drawn into another Force of Will 2 turns down and no land. But, alright, I guess on to the next one. Alright, round 4, won the die roll. Let's see if we can go 4 for 4 against turn 1 combo decks here. We'll keep this. It's a little land light for my liking. But hopefully this Brainstorm will find us some lands. It's also a tap land, which is a little unfortunate, but we got Force of Will and multiple blue cards to pitch to it if we need to. Try to protect ourselves here. Alright, looks like another turn 1 combo deck. Got it. Is this... it's Oops All Spells again. I mean, we're gonna counter this. Let's counter it pitching Cunning Wish. If they got a pact, they got a pact. Alright, so facing Oops again. Okay. Land? Give me a land deck? We stopped their first wave. Okay, that is a land. I like that. So I can Brainstorm here and fetch away if I want to, or I can pass the turn and try to hold up a dress down if the opponent tries to go for it again with something else. If they don't do anything, then we'll probably Brainstorm shuffle. It looks like they're trying to go for it again. Another Undercity Informer. I think we'll let this one go. So my thought was I could try to dig for a counter for this, but then if I don't find a counter that taps me out of Dress Down to be able to stop the Thassa's Oracle, and I don't know if Dress Down is going to be on their radar to name with Cabal Therapy. So I decided to take a calculated risk. What do we got here? I don't think we need the Cunning Wish yet. So let's put back Misty and Cunning Wish. And then we will fetch to shuffle that away. Okay. Because this, in theory, gives me mana to be able to Dress Down and Impulse if I need to. So this is going to be a calculated risk, depending on what's in their deck, to try to stop a Thassa's Oracle trigger. So we will see what is in their graveyard and their deck before we go any further. Alright, they're getting a bunch of Narcomoebas back. There's Dread Return. 1 Cabal Therapy, 2 Cabal Therapies. They do have Jack-o'-lantern, so I'm assuming that means there's a Memories Journey in here somewhere. Yeah, there's the Memories Journey. Okay. So we are going to have to do the thing. We can probably let them get the first Cabal Therapy off. Because, oh, they're just going for it. Okay. Does that mean they have a Pact in hand? They do. Okay, so now we need to impulse and find a Force of Will? Alright, nope, they got it. Okay. Alright, they had the protection that they needed. Alright, against Oops All Spells again. Grafdigger's Cages in, Surgical Extraction in, Consign to Memories in. The One Ring is going to be too slow. Archmage's Charm is going to be too slow. Probably trim Fae of Wishes for being too slow, and let's run it back. Okay, let's see if we can stop Oops. No blue, well, technically blue mana on turn 2. But I think we're going to ship this. Blue mana and a Brainstorm. I guess we're going to keep this, ship the Otawara, and hope that this Brainstorm finds us some kind of interaction. Opponent kept on 6, so I guess we're going to see how crazy they go. Like, I could just mulligan all the way down to a Force of Will, but they're probably assuming that's what we were going to do. Or they're just going to go for it. Duress. Okay, maybe not. Grab a Brainstorm. Or grab an island, Brainstorm. Let's put Spell Pierce back on top. Let's put back Impulse. Well, no, I think Cunning Wish Spell Pierce. So that we draw Spell Pierce next turn to hopefully stop any shenanigans. But I don't like where we're at. Took the Impulse. And passed the turn. Alright, player Misty Pass. Hope that a Spell Pierce gets us there. And then hopefully... I mean, we're going to have to fetch, because we really don't want that Cunning Wish we put back right now. So we're going to fetch. Really? What is this? Disruptor Flute. Interesting. I guess we'll see what they name. They could name Force of Will, I guess. I'm not super sure what they're going to name with Disruptor Flute here. Unless they name Lorien Revealed. I suppose that's a thing. Nope, just Force of Will. Okay. Luckily, Force of Will is not what we have in our hand anyways. Grab an island. Okay. Oops, all Spell Pierces. Got it. Okay, I like having 2 Spell Pierces. That's nice. Just playing Jack-o'-lantern. Okay. It's not worth trying to counter that at all. We're drawing random, so there's no point in cycling a Lorien Revealed right now. Well, next turn, I can play a Lorien Revealed and hold up a Spell Pierce, which is probably what I'm going to do, depending on what we draw. Our opponent still doesn't have mana and isn't going for anything yet. That is a Show and Tell. I think we're just going to pass for now. Well, no, let's cycle one of the Lorien Reveals, go grab another land, so that we can set up to be able to do it next turn. Play the land. I can also fetch Mystic Sanctuary to get back an Impulse or a Brainstorm or something if I need to. But opponent's still not doing anything. I think we're still just going to hold steady where we're at currently. I don't hate Cunning Wish. I think we are going to go ahead and Lorien Revealed here. And we are going to Mystic Sanctuary so that we know what one of these cards is. Let's grab Impulse. And then this still holds up a Spell Pierce. Cast Lorien Revealed. Unfortunately, it only holds up 1 Spell Pierce, but it still holds up a Spell Pierce. Brainstorm, Dress Down Impulse. Okay. And if they don't do anything, we can end of turn Brainstorm. Okay. So they're not going for it this turn. That's good. We are going to go ahead and end of turn Brainstorm. See what we can find. Show and Tell, Dress Down, Impulse. Put back a Show and Tell, put back an Impulse, draw the Impulse. I think we're going to fire off one of the Impulses. Just kind of clear what we got going on here. Grab the Brainstorm. Any order. I could Brainstorm to try to find another land. But then I am dropping some amount of protection. I think we're going to pass. And probably just get rid of one of the Dress Downs. Alright, looks like opponent's just passing. Maybe? Yes, no? Another Disruptor Flute. I think we are going to Spell Pierce this one. Alright. And then I think we are going to end a turn Brainstorm here, because we can clear it with the Impulse if it's stuff we don't want. Okay, I like this. Put back Omniscience. Put back Consign to Memory. Draw the Consign to Memory. And now we do the thing. Put in Omniscience. Just put in a Simian Spirit Guide, okay. Cast a Cunning Wish. Go grab a Firemind's Foresight. Cast Firemind's Foresight. Grab a Cunning Wish. Grab an Impulse. Grab a Brainstorm. Cast an Impulse. Grab Lorien Revealed so I can draw more cards. Any order. Cast Lorien Revealed. Still nothing. Cast another Impulse. Force of Will, Omniscience, Surgical Extraction. I think we take the Surgical here. We have multiple dress downs, so let's cast one. See if this can find us the Emrakul. Another island. Actually, share. This should do it, because we can go grab... Well, no, because we needed this for... Okay, whatever. I was going to say, we need this for the Release the Ants, but I think if we just cast an Emrakul, that should just be game over. Just cast the Emrakul, and then their whole board's going to be wiped here. And we'll just do it the old-fashioned beatdown with Emrakul route. Alright, and they scoop it up. Alright, I guess we're just doing it the beatdown route then. Yeah, I think we just run it back. I don't think we changed the game plan. I mean, this is a turn 2, but they're a turn 1 deck. And they kept 7. I think we're going to ship it for some form of protection. I mean, I guess we keep this, put back an Omniscience, put back Impulse, and just hope they don't turn 1 us. And if we can drop a Grafdigger's Cage, they have to go for the backup route. Alright, looks like they're trying to go for it. Do they have the mana to pop it now is the question. No. Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. Okay. Graveyard Reanimation is off until they can get their shit under them with, whatchamacallit. Go ahead, thought saves me. This is still a clock, so I'm going to have to find a way out of it. The smart thing, honestly, here is to take... Oh, they did it. I was going to say, the smart thing is to take the land. But apparently they do not agree. Okay, I don't have Force of Will. We are going to land cycle the Lorien Revealed, grab another island, drop a backup Grafdigger's Cage, and then I have Force Blue card if I need it, and we just kind of got to hope that we start drawing into stuff that's relevant within the next 9 turns before this Undercity Sewers, or Undercity Informer kills us. It'd be a hell of a juke if they had, like, Barrogoyf or something in this deck. They're getting to the point where they're going to be able to just start casting more creatures to try to beat me down with. Double Force Will. Okay, well, this might be a hand where we kept block pieces, they took our 1 action spell, and we're dead, but we'll see. This does allow me to have something to chuck to Force of Will other than Omniscience, so that if I draw a land and a Show and Tell, I can actually do something. I'd like some selection. Okay, I don't hate Brainstorm. Am I about to surgical myself to shuffle? I think I'm about to surgical myself just to shuffle. Oh god, that feels awful. And it takes a turn off of their clock. They're going to Thoughtseize. We are going to surgical just for the sake of shuffling. We're not going to take anything out of anywhere. It's fine. We're doing this literally just for the sake of shuffling. And then I think we are going to go ahead and just Force of Will this. I want to keep this Omniscience so we're live. If we draw land into Show and Tell. Another Brainstorm, okay. Oh my god. This is gonna go down as, like, the worst loss ever. Oh my god. Our deck is just like, no. Alright, well, I guess this goes to show you what happens when, you have a whole bunch of card draw on your deck, and it just doesn't actually do anything. Like, we shut down our opponent's combo, but they do have the old school backup plan of just beat us down with some creatures. And they're exiling a Simian Spirit, or an Elvish Spirit Guide to play an Elvish Spirit Guide to increase their clock. Yeah, we're literally just dead. Because our next draw is another Omniscience. Like, we're dead. Wow, that... that feels bad that this is how we lost this one. Yeah, you got it, opponent. Good game, opponent. Good game. Alright, on the next one. Alright, final round. Lost the die roll. We'll keep this. See if we can go 5 for 5 for turn 1 combo decks this league. Like, it's just crazy. All 4 matches so far have been against turn 1 black combo decks. Okay, a Forest into a Noble Hierarch. Okay, so this could be Nadu, this could be Elves, this could be any number of things, but it looks like it's going to be more of a fair deck. But we will see. And this is where I eat my words in this infect. Alright, Windswept Heath into a Savannah from the opponent. 3-man, nope. Okay, it is Nadu. So, I mean, I guess we're 5 for 5 for combo decks. That being said, if they don't have something to go with this, we might be able to pull this off next turn. Okay, I don't hate Dress Down. We can Dress Down in response to them doing something. And then we just have to hope that this Omniscience into Impulse gets us there. Okay, Allosaurus Shepherd. Green Sun for 1. We are going to Dress Down here just so that they can't get flips on their turn. Into another Show and Tell. This does look like a more green-heavy version, so I'm not sure if this version is going... Courier Ranger, interesting. I'm not sure if this version is going to have counter magic or not. That being said, we only have one draw spell to go with this Omniscience. So we are leaning super heavy on this Impulse to do some work unless we draw another draw spell, which we don't. So we are leaning super, super heavy on this Impulse. Put Omniscience in. They did a Bird of Paradise. Okay. Just to be safe, we're going to cast the other Omniscience. Just to be safe. Do some work Impulse. Courier Ranger to untap Noble Hierarch to get a flip. Okay. They flipped a Nadu. Oh, baby, there we go. We're going the old school route here. We are just going to cast Big Mama Emrakul and annihilate away their entire board when we attack. And they scoop it up. Okay, the Spaghetti Monster pulled us out of a tight one there. Okay. Alright, I guess what our opponent's doing... I really don't think we have a ton to do here. Like, we could do Disruptor Flutes. They're a more green-based deck, so I don't think we need to bring in the Besejus for counter magic purposes. We could bring in Surgical to, like, counter a Nadu and then Surgical it out, but they have Allosaurus Shepherd, so I don't think that's a good idea. Most of their stuff is creatures, so I feel like maybe Spell Pierces could be taken out. Disruptor Flute can shut down their Nomads, their Shuko, any of their targeting stuff, so I think it's fine bringing those in. And, yeah, let's try something like that. I think we'll keep this. This is lands, draw spells, a slow counter spell, but a counter spell. Like I said, I don't think counters are going to be super relevant in this matchup because they do have Allosaurus Shepherd and they saw we're blue, so they're probably going to preferentially go try to find it. Tropical out of the opponent into Green Sun for Dryad Arbor. Okay. Another land, that's fine. The old, whatchamacallit here. Boschroll Mantra, Island Ponder Keep. We want the Force of Will. Let's put the Tarn, then the One Ring, then grab the Force of Will. No shuffle. They're at a point where if they try to Nadu, it's not uncounterable. And I'd like to work up to this One Ring. 2 mana. Springheart Nantucko. That creates a lot of bodies. So there's something to be said about countering that. The question becomes is what do we chuck to do so? I think it's better to fight over the Nadu than to fight over the Springheart. I'm sure they're going to get a dude out of this, which is fine. Okay, they're going to get 2 dudes out of it. If this is an Allosaurus Shepherd, then we have issues. If it's not, so be it. It's a Nomads and Core. I think that we're willing to fight over. I think we're going to chuck Archaege's Charm for that. I think waiting 2 more turns to hold up another counter is just going to be way, way too slow. And we're just going to keep working our way up toward this One Ring. We have Dress Down to be able to stop any shenanigans next turn. Or we can Lorien Reveal to go get another land, and our top draw will be live again. Because, I mean, our next draw is a land, if I remember correctly. Okay, there's Allosaurus Shepherd, so we kind of knew that was coming. And a Courier Ranger. Okay, so they're just setting their stuff up. Okay. Is this going to be a Nadu? 3 mana. Yes, this is going to be a Nadu. They can't do anything with it yet. Unless they randomly have a 0-cost card. Oh, do they have Court of Calling? I guess we're going to Dress Down and hope that we... Well, we know the next card is a land. And then they're just going to get a bajillion flips on their turn is the problem. Yeah. We're not going to... We'll see what our next card is. Because this is a Chord of Calling. They're going to get a bajillion deflips on our turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was a hell of a hand from the opponent. All of this on turn 3. And now technically they can't... Yeah, okay. We're going to go to the next one. I don't want to sit here and wait for our opponent to flip through, like, their entire deck here. Like, again, this is specifically why I think Nadu should be banned, is because we're not technically dead. It's not a definitive combo, but they're going to take so much time going through their deck that it's not worth the effort to sit there for the, like, 1% chance that they fizzle. That being said, I think we're just going to run it back. I think we can keep this. This is fine. To turn 3, the One Ring. I can turn 1 Disruptor Flute if I need to, but I don't think I do. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. I can wait till I see what they plan on using as their enabler before I flash in this Disruptor Flute. I think we're going to lead off with the Misty Rainforest. Pass. Opponent likes our style. Misty as well, but cracks theirs. Deafening Silence. Okay. I think this is worth trying to find an answer for. Like, I can win through a Deafening Silence. That's not that big of a deal. Let's put back the 2 lands. It just means I need to be a little wonky about the way that I sequence my turns. So I can dig 1 deeper if I Brainstorm. We will do this. I don't hate Dress Down. Let's put back a Redundant Impulse and a land. Play Ancient Tomb, pass the turn. Because this will allow me to flash in a Disruptor Flute on their turn. Like, luckily a large part of our deck is just instants, so we do get to play on our turn and their turn. And since I only get to play 1 spell a turn at this point, I am going to go ahead and do this now. And we're going to name Nomads in Core. Get the Flute on Nomads, shut off that angle. We will go ahead and slam the One Ring to start trying to work toward an answer. And then we will draw with the One Ring. Archmage's Charm, okay. That is a counter spell for next turn. Springheart Nantucko on the birds. Okay, they're mana screwed. We actually could steal the bird is the funny part. Depending on what we do, we might actually just do that. Alright, multiple Omnisciences. Do I want to hold up my mana to be able to use Archmage's Charm? Or do I want to... So, like, I can ponder here, hold up Dress Down to try to go off. That might actually be a better idea. I do not want any of these. This is going to let me hold up Impulse or Archmage's Charm for next turn. Or Impulse or Dress Down. Like I said, it could be funny to just steal the... Okay. I think we're going to do this now. As funny as this is, we are going to go ahead and Dress Down, shut this off from being able to make dudes, and then I actually think we're going to steal it next turn, because I think that's absolutely hysterical, because they're clearly missing land drops. Another Dress Down. Yeah, we're going to do the funny thing. We're going to take your birds. I do need to find a show and tell quickly, though, or this One Ring is going to kill me. Or I need a way to stop the One Ring. Let's chuck Redundant Omniscience, Redundant Impulse. I guess 2 impulses is fine. And our opponent scoops it up because they can't find any lands and we took their Birds of Paradise. Okay. I mean, I guess that's one way to do it, and that's the risk of drawing. So we were going to get... Okay, they left. But we were going to get the show and tell, so we were probably going to win that one regardless. But, yeah. All right, cool. Okay, let's start off by saying, holy combo, Batman. Selfishly, as a combo player myself, I love seeing it represented. However, seeing 4 turn 1 black-based combo decks in a row is kind of insane. I don't know if people are just trying to speed run through leagues right now, just get in as many matches as they possibly can. I do know Oops All Spells is kind of one of the top decks recently, so I guess I'm not super surprised to be running into that. But just the amount of turn 1 combo decks today was kind of just insane. But that being said, even with them being turn 1 combo decks and being very quick matches, I do think we got to see the good and the bad of this deck, and it wasn't just completely two ships passing in the night sort of situations. We did get to see that this deck is able to just churn through itself super fast, be able to find its interaction, find its hate spells, find its combo. So it was super cool. We did see that one game where our opponent did have a single well-placed Thoughtseize, and all we had was a hate piece to stop their combo, and they were able to just pivot into beatdown and kill us before we could reassemble our combo. So that is something to kind of consider. I think that was a one-off. With the amount of dig spells in this deck, I don't think situations like that are going to happen very often. We also get to see the really cool side of the deck where it is a spell-based combo deck, but because everything you do is at instant speed, you are able to go off over the top of an opponent's hate piece, such as the case in that Black Saga Storm match, where we're able to just go off over the top of the opponent's Bowmaster triggers, and we could still draw and just keep going with the triggers on the stack and never let them resolve and win. We also saw that we could play around normal hate pieces against Storm-style decks, such as Deafening Silence that limit you to one spell per turn. Because all of our spells are instants, we could time them and sequence them correctly to play a meaningful spell on our turn and a meaningful spell on the opponent's turn to work our way through it, to find a way to get rid of the hate piece and be able to win. So it's really cool having that flexibility in this style of deck. That being said, we obviously didn't see how this got to really fare against any kind of control or tempo matchups, and we didn't run into Dimir Reanimator, which is considered the top deck of the format right now, so we didn't really get to see how it fares against that, bringing in stuff like Beseiju to force through your spells and stuff like that. So we did well with it. It felt really, really good. It was a blast to play. I give it a thumbs up with the asterisks of I feel like against the dedicated control and tempo decks, it is a bit rough. Just from my testing, you didn't get to see any of the matches where I actually played against those, but my testing, they did feel like very rough matchups in general, especially when you're up against the tempo decks where they have counter magic and wasteland to be able to kill your Beseiju. Beseiju coming into play tapped against those decks is a huge, huge downside because it gives your opponent an ability to get rid of it before you can actually even use it. So just keep that in mind if you're going to play this deck. I do think it is a great deck. It's a ton of fun. I definitely recommend it for an FNM level event, a league, something like that. The struggles it had against the tempo and the control decks when I was testing, I would say probably not great for higher stakes events. But I really do like the flexibility with the deck, being able to go off at instant speed and having a tutor board to be able to find any kind of answer that you need for whatever your opponent's doing. But overall, this deck was great to play, really scratched my itch for being able to cast stuff for free and not pay for my spells. I hope you all had as much fun watching as I did playing. I will catch you all in the next one. And as always, stay salty. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like what you saw. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and sub button below. They are free ways to support the channel. And drop a comment, let me know what you like. Any kind of feedback you got, your opinions on my gameplay, the decks that I play, any of that kind of stuff. If you really like what you see, go ahead and drop by the Patreon. Become a patron, get to read some of my tournament reports and some stuff going on outside of just Magic in my life that I'm going to start putting over there as kind of my own personal blog. Also, you can do donation deck lists over there, just the price of a league if you have a specific deck you want to see, or you have an idea you want me to brew around, something like that, go ahead and do that. Nothing is required. It's always appreciated, though. Any donations go directly back into the channel, covering stuff such as leagues for donation decks or the rental program that I'm a part of. I am a small-time YouTuber. I'm doing this for fun. I really hope you all like what you saw. I truly appreciate you all stopping by. I will catch you all in the next video, and as always, stay salty.